Good morning. It's Thursday, December the 10th, and this is today's Advent Devotional. We've been looking at Micah 6:8, and we're now on the third part of it. We looked at doing justice and loving kindness. Now we're at walk humbly with your God. What does that mean? It calls us to humility. That's a good place to be, though it's very difficult for us in our culture to achieve that with any consistency. Humility is putting yourself lower than other people. It's keeping holding other people and God higher, in a higher regard than where we see ourselves. Several places Paul says something like, do not consider yourself more highly than you ought to. And that's good advice. I had a professor in seminary who used to say, and he was a very brilliant man with a lot of academic accomplishments, and he knew it. But he would say, when you're standing in the line at the store and the person in front of you is simply distasteful, they're dressed weird, they've got tattoos everywhere, they have a weird hairstyle, and you can just begin to catalog all the reasons why they are lower than you and why you don't like them. He said, when you start to think that way, you need to stop and remind yourself that Jesus would have come and died for that person, even if I had never lived. That, he said, will put you in a place of humility. And when you're in that place of humility, when you're lower than the other, all you can do is offer thanksgiving for the blessings that come to you from God, from the other. And thanksgiving in turn gives you joy. So humility is a route to thanksgiving and joy. That's an important part of it. Humility is the opposite of what goes on in our culture, where we see people putting themselves first and putting themselves in the limelight and always wanting to be the one that people look at, talk about, and listen to. If we didn't do that all the time, we might find humility is much, much easier. And every once in a great while, we find great people who have every reason to achieve the limelight and think of themselves that way, but who are humble as can be. And those are the really great people among us. So think about walking humbly with God and what that might mean for your life and in your circumstances. Think about how you could achieve that. Think about what it would mean to be humble in every circumstance, and not to defend yourself quite so quickly when people say things, or to jump to kind of arguments or vengeance mode, but just to say, okay, that's going to be all right. That's what we're after here for Advent, and I hope that you continue to have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.